Fall is in full swing here at Dreaming Tree, and I just got done putting together our Trick or Treat SVG bundle, which two of the pieces are here in front of me. There's one over there, but wanted to take a second and show everyone what is available in that bundle. These are both luminaries. This doubles as a luminary and a little treat box. I think the box is somewhere around here. But that was really fun, and on top of that, I got some of my fall stuff out. I'm getting ready to decorate temporarily for fall, because I'll do fall for a little bit, and then October 1st, the house turns into Halloween, and then usually November 1st, I go back to fall for a little bit before I decorate for Christmas. But today, we've got a little treat box that I guess would work good for Halloween or Thanksgiving. This could be a little favor box that you give to your guests at your Thanksgiving dinner, or maybe even just a little host or hostess gift, or just a just because sort of gift for someone that that you love. So anyway, let's take a look at what we have here, and it's a pretty straightforward piece. Now this is the base of our box here, and I kind of played around a little bit with my maker today. We've been doing some testing in-house to decide the best approach for using the score wheel. And I actually used the score wheel on this piece with our perforated lines. It worked okay. So we're still kind of testing the solid lines. You can see here that these, after I folded them, gave me a full solid line, but it was just the little perforated ones that the score wheel did, and it seemed to do a decent job. It's probably not as accurate yet until we get the full lines, but again, we're just doing some testing here. But anyway, back to the assembly here. We're gonna just construct our box, and actually, you know what, before we do that, I think it might be a good idea to, since we're kind of working, take the opportunity to work flat. This side here is the front of our box, and you'll see here there's a series of little scallops here. Those match up with our little pumpkin here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to glue our pumpkin down. Let's just get that in place. Let's get that in place real quick, just because it's going to be easier to get this aligned right now while everything is nice and flat. So let's do that, and the rest of for me, the rest of the pumpkin is actually going to be pop dotted. So let's get that in place, and you want to try to keep the glue off of the very ends of your pumpkin, and you don't need any on the stem. Okay, so that is how that's going to go on. And then we're going to join the little tabs here to the neighboring walls, and doesn't matter where we start, we can just start here. I'm actually using the large glue bottle today because it was handy. I like the 2-ounce bottle better because it's easier to kind of hold in your hand. All right, so I am going to take that glue and just run that out to the very edge of my little tab there, and then just tuck it behind its neighboring piece here. Get that nice and lined up, and just squeeze those two sides between your fingers to get it to bond. And I am kind of liking the solid score lines. They're not as, well, until I do a full test with a full solid score line, which we've done a little bit of, but not with any of the previous products, just kind of just some line tests. I won't really know which is more accurate. You think they'd be on the same level as far as accuracy, but that is why we're kind of taking our time to decide if we're going to proceed with that sort of thing. It's very likely, but of course we want to make sure that we do it right. So anyway, I'm just connecting this next side to the neighboring side, just like I did the first time. All we're doing is just forming our box here. Okay, now we can take and put glue on our next tab here and get a nice thin line right out to the edge. Okay, and close that up. Just get that nice and aligned. with this side here. Give that a squeeze. Now I did hit my little pumpkin here with some ink, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. All right, now this last tab here, we got to tuck that under, and we're going to fold it so that we can get our glue nozzle in there. It's kind of hard to see because it's black, but just get that glue on the last tab. It doesn't matter which order you do it in, which tab you glue down first, as long as you're gluing the tabs down, it's fine. Okay, and then just get that nice and connected and give it a squeeze. And see, now that time I didn't smooth it out with my finger like I usually do, and guess what happened? I got glue that shot out. And that is why I do that. It just makes it a lot neater. But it's still gonna look cute, so no worries. All right, so our box is formed, very simple. And what we're gonna do then, let me get a little piece here on the black. What we're gonna do is grab some foam squares, and I'm gonna get our pumpkin on here. And actually, before we do that, let's put our stem in place. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back of my stem and just pop that right into place like that. There's a little green accent piece for the top of the stem. Pop your glue on the back of that. And let's get that in place. There we go. Okay, so not much left to do here. Let us get our next largest piece on our pumpkin here. So that's going to go like this. Okay, you can kind of use the little scallops there as guides. And I'm just going to place a few little foam squares on the back of this. I think 4 is probably enough. I'd focus them on the center of this piece just so that you don't really see the whites poking out if you happen to catch it on an angle. I'll just keep it looking more clean, I guess. I'll get the backings off of this. And that one wasn't as sticky. Okay. And let's see here. I'll flip that over. The top should have a little bit of a larger scallop. The bottom's going to have more of a little butt. So just find the little butt on your pumpkin and get that nice and lined up. There we go. And now this one here, this one is a little bit wider at the top and a little bit narrower at the base. So just make sure that you have the narrow part pointing down. And I think I'm gonna do 4 on this one too, just to kind of balance it out. And I'm gonna stagger it like that, I think. Let me see how that will sit. That's pretty good, actually. It's a pretty thin piece, so we don't need to overdo it on the foam squares. I think that should do just fine. You can glue this flat if you want to, but I think it's going to look a lot cooler with the dimension. It'll kind of accentuate the pumpkin's little ribs, as you can see there. That looks really nice. Okay, so we have this little element here with a leaf. I've got a little brown piece for the little stem, the tendril of the pumpkin. Let me move that out of the way. So let's get a little bit of glue. Hello, Mr. Fly. That is not a real pumpkin, and you will find no sugar there or any food at all. So I suggest that you conserve your energy and maybe find something edible. All right, so let's go ahead and place our little brown stem on top of the green shadow piece. Just get that nice and lined up and aligned. And just give it a squeeze here or there to get it to stick. And then we've got these 2 little pieces that make up the leaf. I actually inked this as well and ran it through the embosser using the derice Crackle embossing folder. It has a very interesting texture that almost mimics like the veins on a leaf. And the idea here is to just place that so that it's this piece is more on the right side of our leaf, and that you have a nice little even border going all the way around. And then same with this piece for the left side. Just very sparse on the glue here. It's a very tiny little delicate piece. You don't need to overdo it. Okay, and then just place that right in its little home. There we go. Okay, so there's our little leaf. And if you want, probably take a little dowel and just curl the tendril out a little bit, just to jazz it up a tiny bit so it's not so flat. And maybe even just kind of flare the leaf out a little bit randomly so it's not so flat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this right onto our little box here, pretty much right in the center. I might bring it down a little bit just to so you can see the top of the pumpkin just ever so slightly. And I'm just going to put my glue right here. You could pop dot this as well, but I think we already got enough going on with the existing pop dots or foam squares that maybe want to kind of take it a little easier. But there's your cute little box. It's very simple, very quick. This would be actually great for a classroom. If you wanted to, what you could also do is cut out little black triangles and maybe a mouth and turn this into a jack-o'-lantern. So this would be a great little party favor for a Halloween party at home or at school or at work. But yeah, or again, for Thanksgiving, this would be great. If you want to use it for Thanksgiving, you could change this from black to maybe a nice fall pattern or a nice brown. But either way, again, really cute, really quick. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It lets me know that I'm doing great and that you guys love the video, so I'd appreciate it if you did that. And if you do make this or any of the projects from our Trick or Treat bundle or our Hello Autumn bundle, or any of our bundles, we'd love for you to join us in the Dreaming Tree group on Facebook. So visit Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree group up at the top there in the search bar, and join myself and almost 7,000 dreamers and share your work with us so we can be inspired by you as well. So thanks again for joining me today, and I look forward to crafting with you again. Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.